At Hashem, Parachat Vayetze. This week's Parashat, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva ve'elech Harana. Yaakov leaves his house where he lives with his parents, Yitzchak, Rivka, ve'elech Harana. He is forced to run away from his house. Rashi, last week's Parashat, the last Rashi of the Parashat Toldot, he makes a whole cheshbon about the life of Yaakov. What age did Avram pass away? What age was Yaakov? He was 63 years old. And then when he gets to Haran, right? He was 84. He's getting married to the two sisters. Rivka, Rachel is 84. Yosef, 17 years. Also disappears from the house, 22 years. When he gets to Mitzrayim, Yaakov is 130 years. Rashi makes a whole cheshbon of the life of Yaakov from age 0 when he's born to age 147 when he passes away. And then Rashi, as he goes to the steps of the life of Yaakov, Omer chaser b'cheshbon. Something is missing in this cheshbon. This 14 years, somewhere they disappeared. What's the 14 years all about? So Rashi says, the Midrash. The Midrash says when Yaakov was forced to run away from his brother Esav, which wants to kill him, and his father gives them the mitzvah, go to your uncle, over there you're going to find a wife. Yaakov says, I'm not going to go right away. I'm going to hide in yeshiva. He goes to the yeshiva of Ever, one of the prophets at that time, and he studies there for 14 years. 14 years he's studying in yeshiva, right? That's what he does. We find the same thing by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Romans want him, dead or alive. They want to catch him, right? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, what does he do? He runs with his son, Rabbi Elazar, to Bet HaMidrash. The Gemara in Shabbat Lamed says, then they say to themselves, the Romans are going to look for us, and probably they're going to take Rabbi Shimon's wife, and they're going to torture her till she tells them he's in Bet HaMidrash. So we better run away to a place where she doesn't know either. So then they decide to go to the mountains, Peki'in. They went to the city of Peki'in over there, and they hid in the Me'ara 12 years, till they came out, right? טוב, בקיצור, we see such a thing. לברוח, first place you run away is Bet HaMidrash. Yaakov is running away. Where does he run to? He runs to Bet HaMidrash Ever. Question is, he stayed there 14 years, 14 shana. He's 77 years old. He got the berachot from his father. Rashi says, ב-63, 63, right? 63, you have to get married. You have to have kids, What are you doing 14 years in yeshiva? What are you, in Lashon HaYeshiva, what are you kvetching? You're sitting and kvetching the yeshiva. Okay, listen. חסר לך תורה. ויעקב ישתם ויושב אוהלים. He's learning 63 years Torah. What is he missing more? Eventually, there was something special in this yeshiva that got him to stay there for 14 more years. Okay? And that's what I want to share with you. I heard Dvar Torah from a rabbi, Rabbi Avraham Dayan, and I think you can take this Dvar Torah and you can connect it to this week's parasha, to this story of Yaakov Avinu running away to yeshiva 14 years before starting his journey to Haran. Before Vayetze Yaakov Beersheva, ve'elech Harana achre 14 shana, after 14 years. So the thing is the following. There was a neched shel HaChafetz Chaim, a grandson of the Chafetz Chaim, Rav Hillel Zaks, passed away a few years ago. Rav Hillel Zaks, שחילקו את הירושה, when they gave away the heritage of HaChafetz Chaim, he was זוכה בגביע של קידוש של HaChafetz Chaim. He got the Kiddush cup of the Chafetz Chaim. Each one got something else. He got the Kiddush cup. But the interesting thing, he never used it. Not Shabbat, not Chag, not Pesach. So somebody told him, כבודו, סתם שאלה מעניינת. I just want to ask you a question. למה אתה לא משתמש? Why are you not using? גביע של החפץ חיים, אתה יודע איזה זכות. Who has the merit? If they put it in the auction, it's going to go for more than $1 million. People today, they look for things like this, ישימו את זה באוקשן, יותר מ$1 million. You have the זכות to get it for free. למה אתה לא משתמש? So he told them, כי אין בזה שיעור חזון איש. There's no שיעור חזון איש. What is חזון איש? חזון איש, שיעור is רביעית. רביעית הלוג. רביעית הלוג is 84 ml. milliliters, right? Chazon Ish says, no, nitkatnu habetzim. The sizes of the shiurim, of the measures that are given in Shulchan Aruch, they became smaller, half. So the Chazon Ish says, in order to have a Kiddush cup, you need 84 times 2. Like you need 160, 170 ml. Under this, says the Chazon Ish, lo mekayem mitzvah d'oraita. So the Rav Elazar says, I have the cup, beautiful souvenir, but אין שיעור חזון איש. אז אמרו לו, והחפץ חיים. So, listen what he answered. תשמעו מה הוא ענה. הוא אמר ככה, בעם ישראל, in עם ישראל, היה 3 תקופות. There were 3 periods of time. The reforms, מתי שהתחילה ההשכלה, when the reform movement started. After that came communism, right? And after the communism, באה הציונות, the Zionist. הוא אמר, כנגד זה כוחות הטומאה. Those are the powers of טומאה. This was the טומאה בעולם. הביא טומאה לעולם. Why? Because the טומאה, the impurity, always looks to bother, right, the purity. So what happened? Against those 3 movements, הקדוש ברוך הוא נתן כוח בקדושה. He gave כוח, he gave power into the holiness. What was the power? 3 yeshivot, 3 yeshivot. Each yeshiva to knock down one of those powers. What were the yeshiva? The first yeshiva was called Kelem, Asaba Mikelem. Asaba Mikelem, he put a yeshiva up. This yeshiva was supposed to fight reform. Then came another yeshiva.
Why?
We're going to explain. Then came another yeshiva. The second yeshiva was the yeshiva Slabotka. Right? Slabotka yeshiva. They were supposed to knock down the communism. And then came the yeshiva of Novardok. Novardok came to go against Zionism. Okay? So, זה היה מלחמה בעולם. It was what was the shita of those yeshivas? Those 3 yeshivas were completely different בהשקפה, בשיטה. They were completely different the way they look at Torah, the way of Torah, the way of learning. Kelem, Asaba Mikelem, he was a regime. A regime. What's a regime? Shoter. He was like a general. וכל התלמידים, all the students are חיילים, are students, are soldiers. מה זה חיילים? When you wake up in the morning, אתה מסדר את המיטה שלך, you fix your bed. אין לרדת מהמיטה בלי לסדר. You go before you come to tefillah, you fix your bed. Okay? You make sure your suits are hanging, you make sure you're dressed properly, you come to tefillah, you take your place, אתה לא לוקח 3 מקומות בשולחן, not take 3 places. Everything is a regime, right? To the point, מספרים, they say over, פעם אחת, one time, a group of philanthropes, הם באו לישיבה, לתרום כסף, to donate money, and they came with carriages, like carriages with horses. והיה רעש בחוץ, there was a noise outside. One of the students got up, he wanted to see what's going on. He went to the window. They came over to him, out מהישיבה, אתה לא בישיבה יותר. מה עשיתי? מה תדעו? חייל עוזב את המשמרת באמצע המשמר? You are a soldier. How can you leave your book? You're in the middle of learning. You're in the middle of protecting of Am Yisrael against those reformed people. And you getting up to look what's outside? החוצה, out. זה היה משטר, there was a regime. סבא מכן אומרים שהוא היה רואה מישהו, היה שם את הנעליים, they used to put their shoes under their bed, פעם אחת היה נעל, one shoe was on the right, one shoe on the left. קרא לו באמצע הסדר, לסגור את הגמרא, close your גמרא, לך תצא את הנעליים שלך. Just to put the shoe. אין! You have to be חייל. חייל חייב להיות מצוחצח, מסודר. זה היה כלם. למה? באו הרפורמים. הכל מותר. There's no restriction. You can eat not kosher. תהיה בן אדם. כשאתה יוצא בחוץ, תהיה יהודי בבית. Be Jewish home. Eat kosher home. When you go outside, תהיה בן אדם. Be a man outside. Like, don't make a difference between you and the goyim. זה השיטה. אומר הסבא מכן, we have to fight that. אנחנו צריכים להבין קדושה לעולם. מה הקדושה? משטר של תורה. regime of Torah. right? Torah, דרך ארץ Torah. That was Kelem. זה the first fight. Second fight was, when communism came, מה זה communism? כולם שווים. Everybody's equal. אין עשיר ועני. There's no rich and poor. You know? So they take everybody's money right? And then they divide it. They take the big piece and they divide the 10%, the maaser, they divide between everybody, you know? But that was communism. Right? For that, there was another koach kedusha who came to the world. איזה koach kedusha? The Shiva of Slobodka. מה זה סלובודקה? האדם הוא נזר הבריאה. Mankind is like the cherry on top of the cake, of the cream cake. מה זה? Slobodka, the students of Slobodka, okay? The students of Slobodka, הם היו הולכים, they used to go with canes. And on the cane היה גולת זהב. מי הולך ככה? Who goes like this? Only lords. You know, English lords, kings. ככה כל התלמידים. החליפות cannot be a speckle. If you have a small thing, you have to be מצוחצח. Why? Because you're a king. מלך. אתה מלך, right? Those people, they wanted to smash people, right? Everybody's equal. No. Torah is in a higher level. Not everybody is equal. לא כולם שווים. Torah puts you on a higher level. אז בסלובודקה, הרב מסלובודקה, אמר להם, זה השיטה, להילחם בהם. To fight them, you have to show Torah. You cannot sit with עם הארץ and start taking a coffee. You are נזר הבריאה. You have to sit and learn. You have to להפיץ Torah, right? To put out Torah in the world. You cannot be like everybody. You have to be different. You have to be the higher madriga, higher level. And then came ציונות. What ציונות? Let's go to Israel, build Israel, לא צריך תורה. The תימנים come, they cut their פאות. The מרוקאים come, put them in קיבוצים. כולם חילונים, everybody's dead, right? Came the Novardok. What's Novardok? Novardok זה הפוך מסלובודקה. It's just the opposite from סלובודקה. שפלות האדם. בן אדם הוא שפל. A person is the lowest level. A person is nothing. So to make themselves shvelim, to make themselves low level, מספרים על התלמידים. They say over the תלמידים, you know what to do? They used to go to a pharmacy and they used to tell the pharmacist, do you sell nails? People look at them. You coming to buy nails in a pharmacy? People used to לצחוק עליהם. They used to make fun of them. אבל הם רצו את זה, they did it בכוונה, so people should make fun of them, שהם ירגישו low lives. כן? למה? שיצר הרע לא ייקח אותם, כן? שיצר הרע לא shouldn't take them, right? So, ציונות, we build Israel, we did... אתה כלום, מה אתה הולך לבנות את זה? אתה הולך לבנות ישראל? תן לשם לבנות ישראל, you know? אומר הרב זקס, in a certain point, all three things, all כוחות הטומאה נעלמו. כל הכוחות נעלמו. מה נשאר? What's left from the first shita, which is how do you call that? The regime, right? The reforms. אין reforms. היום יש reforms. מיעוטה דמיעוטה, כן? כולם הפוך. Today they מתחזקים. Everybody מתחזקים בתורה, כן? מה נשאר? What's left from communism? Nothing. Russia is broke down. All the Russians came to Israel, even the non-Jews came to Israel. You know? Nothing נשאר מכל הדבר הזה. ומה נשאר מציוניזם? כל אלה שאומרים שהם ציונים, all those guys say ציונים, tell them, I have a job for you in America, the next morning is in America. למה אתה ציוני? תהיה בארץ, למה אתה הולך לאמריקה? כן? Why you go to America? אז איזה ציוני אתה? כן? זה סתם, הם קוראים לעצמם ציונים, אבל הם לא ציונים. Right? הכל נעלם, everything erased. אומר הרב זקס, says the Rav Zaks, but today יש כוח טומאה חדש. What's the הפקרות? Lawlessness. מה זה lawlessness? אין דין ואין דיין. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
There's no nothing. Even in Torah we see people like this. Even in Torah. פתאום אחד מחליט, I'm rabbi. היית בישיבה? קראת שולחן ערוך? No, I'm rabbi. שמעתי איזה שיעור. קראתי ילקוט יוסף. He became rabbi. ילקוט יוסף, אתה נהיית rabbi. כן? אין דין, מישהו יעצור אותך? Somebody's going to stop you? No. זה ככה, כן? אחד אומר, אני פותח כשרות. מה אתה מבין בכשרות? You don't know anything about כשרות. Doesn't make a difference. You check the ingredients, kosher, it's kosher. You check the כלים, you check the... אין דין ואין דיין. Today זה הפקרות. Today the world is lawlessness. כל אחד איש הישר בעיניו יעשה. Everybody can do whatever they want. עד שבא החזון איש, לפני 60 שנה. When the חזון איש came, מה הוא עשה? כשיש מתירנות, when there is open gates, you close the gates. איך אתה עושה את זה? חומרה על גבי חומרה. Put חומרות as much as possible. חומרה זה חומה. חומה ועוד חומה ועוד חומה ועוד חומה. Everything in חזון איש is חומרה. Right? חזון איש, שיעורים, all the שיעורים, מצה, you have to eat double מצה on פסח. כוס קידוש, double the show of כוס קידוש. Anything that you do is double. Then אומר חזון איש, you cannot open cans on Shabbat because it's bonnet. You cannot use the fridge because even if you take off the bulb, it's still bonnet. So חזון איש never used the fridge on Shabbat. So many חומרות, who can follow this? He has a group that follow him, who can follow this? אומר הרב הלל זקס, אבל הוא העומד, he was standing against those מופקרים, those people that, lawlessness, they think everything is mutar. He says, now I'm on, and you understand why I'm not using the kiddush of cup of Chafetz Chaim? Tzaddik Yesod Olam, that's my grandfather, right? But we're living in a tkufa that the wall is the Chazon Ish. So if the cup doesn't have Shiur Chazon Ish, I cannot use it. Because I have to be, אני צריך להרים את הדגל, I have to put up the flag of the Chazon Ish. Okay? With this said, Yaakov Avinu for 63 years, Ish Tam Yoshev Ohalim. What is he learning? He's learning in his house. He's learning with the father tzaddik called Yitzchak, with the mother tzaddiket called Rivka, right? Esav basadeh, lo mafriya lo, it doesn't bother him. Even in the beginning, Esav used to learn with him. Nothing bothers him. Not everything is okay. I'm just learning, right? Now he's about to go to Haran. Wow, Haran, Lavan Ramai. Ramai kaze, how can I stay Yaakov? Titen emet leYaakov. I have to stay emet from the morning till the night. איך אני אשאר אמת? אני צריך ישיבה מיוחדת. I need a special yeshiva for that. And what's this special yeshiva? Yeshivat Ever. If we want to see how it worked, look at how it works. He's working 7 years for a girl. The night of the wedding, father-in-law changes the kala. What would you do next day? You would take a baseball bat, but hello, I worked 7 years for you. You give me the wrong wife. At night I was with a woman. I thought it's my wife, and you make me sleep with another wife. I שובר לו את הראש. He would break his head. מה אומר לו? למה זה רימיתני? Such a nice guy. Why did you cheat me? Come on. I worked for you 7 years. So innocent. He says, you know what? Work 7 years, 7 more years. Okay, I'll work 7. מאיפה הכוח הזה? זה כוח. זה מהישיבה של עבר. You have to be אמת. That you don't care that he's trying to cheat you, to whatever he did for you after 7 years. You don't care about this. You have to stay emet. You have to stay ben Torah. You have to give an example. You know what? Take 7 years. I'll take 7 years. Yosef is born. 7 years later, at the 14th year, Yosef is born. Avei tishti banai, listen, I worked 14 years for you. Give me my wife, give me my children. I want to go away. Okay, so start working now. Let's make a contract, right? And I'll pay you, and then you go. He's dragging him for 6 years. Yaakov is saying, "Vatachlef et maskorti aseret monim." Monim is 10. Aseret 10 times 10, 100 times. If you want to see the contracts, Maril Midiskin in his book על התורה wrote בהפלא ופלא 100 פעמים how he changed 100 times. עקודים, ברודים, נקודים, חומים, שחומים. He writes 100 times. He takes all the animals of the Torah and he writes 100 permutation. הוא מראה איך 100 פעמים. So he writes 100 times. he told them עקודים, נקודים, ברודים, he told them שחומים זה. He writes כל פעם. At the end of 6 years, he says his wife, זה מספיק, יאללה. אני לא יכול, אני יכול להישאר פה עוד 100 שנה ככה. Every time, he's רמאי. I cannot deal with him. Let's run away. So they're running away. הוא לקח משהו? Did he take something with him? Nothing. So Lavan is running after him because Rachel לקחה את התרפים. She took the idols, right? So the idols shouldn't tell him, Lavan, where they're running to, right? she לקחה את התרפים. He doesn't know. הוא בא, he wants to kill him. But who does he want to kill? He wants to kill Yaakov, his 2 daughters, his 2 other daughters, Zilpah וBil'ah, and his נכדים, all his 12 grandchildren, wants to kill everybody. ולבן ביקש לעקור את הכל. יאללה, הורגים את כולם. Hashem appears in the dream. הלו, לא תדבר מטוב הרע. You don't speak nothing to him. לא טוב, לא רע. Okay. He comes to him. למה גנבת תרפים? אני גנבתי תרפים? Search. He's searching. He's telling him after a search. ויבוא באוהל יעקב, ואחר כך באוהל לאה. ואוהל שתי אמהות, ובאוהל רחל. He went back and forth. He couldn't find anything. So Yaakov is telling him, he got upset. He's telling him, כי מיששת את כל כליי. You checked my whole house, from top to bottom. מה מצאת? Did you find a needle, אומר רש"י? מצאת מחט? מחט לא מצאת. I didn't steal from you nothing. With all these 6 years, I could have taken for you so much money and so many things. I didn't take nothing. איך הוא נשאר איש אמת? 20 years he worked for nothing, לא נתן לו כלום. שלח אותו בלי כלום. He sent them without nothing. Why? זה הישיבה של עבר. This is the yeshiva. Only in this yeshiva you can learn. Somebody cheats you in business. Somebody puts you a stumbling block. Somebody talks לשון הרע about you. ואתה לא עושה כלום. זה ישיבה מיוחדת. This is a special yeshiva, right? 63 years that the yeshiva that he learned in the Mir or he learned in the Lakewood or whatever, זה לא מספיק. You need a special yeshiva, right? So that's why Yaakov Omer, before I run to Haran, I have to run to yeshiva to learn this stuff. I don't know how to deal with this. How am I going to deal with this stuff? He goes to yeshiva. תראו לעצמכם, 14 years זה לקח הלימוד הזה. 14 years. It's not 1 week, it's not 2 weeks, not 14 weeks. 14 years לקח לו ללמוד איך to deal עם רשע כזה. So this is the לימוד to tell you, now in our generation, right? Like we said, we live in Teranut. I think we can add to this, to what Rav Hillel Zaks said. I think we can add to this that we're living in Kufa Prutza, like in lowliness, right? And open gates, everything is open. I think that's why Hashem zika otanu in our generation to have Rav Vadia Yosef. Why? Chazon Ish came with chumrot, but not everybody is able to reach those type of madrigot. Even the Chazon Ish, even the Chafetz Chaim. והראיה, every Friday איזה קידוש היה עושה על כוס שיעור רב חיים נוי. He did a kiddush on a Chav Chaim. No, he לא עשה על חזון איש. He could have bought another kid. No, חזון איש הוא עשה, כן. חזון איש. מי יכול, who can follow the חזון איש? Not a lot of people can follow the חזון איש. We're living in a door, right? We're living in a generation, הלוואי שיהיו רק דתיים. Let them be just דתיים, right? קם רב די יוסף and says, you know what? So let's put the boundaries to minimum. מה החומה המינימלית? What's the minimum חומה? What's the minimum wall that we can have? הלכה. מרן, מה אומר מרן? That's it. Don't go to חומרות, כן? He said once in the שיעורים, רב עובדיה said in one שיעורים, sometimes בשולחן ערוך אומר, והמחמיר, תבוא עליו ברכה. איך מרן כותב את זה? תבוא עליו ברכה. He doesn't write, תבוא עליו ברכה. He writes ראשי תיבות, תף, עין, two apostrophes, בית. תבוא עליו ברכה. תף, עין, two apostrophes, בית. מה זה? איך קוראים את זה? תעב. You know that in Arabic, תעב means עייף. עייף. תעבן. עייף. הוא אומר, מי שמחמיר מתעייף. אתה מחמיר, you מחמיר. After 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, in a certain point you get tired. אומר, הלוואי שישמרו את ההלכה. Right? הלוואי they keep to the הלכה. Don't, חומרות. Look for הלכה. זה הכוח של הרב עובדיה. This is the חומה הרב עובדיה put. He said, הלוואי that people would learn שולחן ערוך. Instead of חומרות, people do sometimes and tell them, איפה הפצת את זה? No, you have to... בשולחן ערוך לא כתוב ככה. Doesn't say טוב. Doesn't say. Right? You show it? Wow. So all his life he did חומרה. I'll tell you an example. A lot of Sfaradim, on Pesach, they don't dip the matzah in tomato salad. גברוch. אתה אומר לו, מאיפה אתה? אומר לו, מה? זה הלכה, אסור, כי זה מים. בסלד יש מים, של העגבניות, יש מים, זה יכול להיות חמץ. אתה אומר לו, בוא. איפה כתוב בשולחן ערוך את זה? אומר לו, מה? זה לא שולחן ערוך? אומר לו, הוא אומר, החסידים אמרו לי לא. החסידים עכשיו זה שולחן ערוך שלנו? כן? וואו, so the whole years, for 20 years אני התעניתי בפסח. הייתי תענית בפסח. I couldn't eat this, I couldn't eat that. מה קרה לך? כן? הוא אומר, תעב, אתה תתעייף בסוף, חבל. תעשה מה שכתוב בהלכה. Do what ההלכה זה. This is the... So, בקיצור, every generation צריך לשים חומות. כן? כן? אם חומה היא, אם אתה חומה, אומר שלמה המלך, נצור עליה לוח כסף. ואם דלת היא, נצור עליה לוח ארז. אם אתה חומה, if you're strong, הקדוש ברוך הוא שם עליך כסף. כסף זה חזק, it's a strong material, כן? אבל אם אתה דלת זה, you know, today doors, you do like, you put your finger, you go into the other side, כן? אם דלת היא, נצו עליה לוח ארז. אם אתה חלש, אז גם החומה שלך חלשה. Your walls also. So we have to be strong, right? You have to be strong, but you keep halacha. Just keeping halacha, that's already, and that's the כל דור ודור קמים עלינו לכלותנו. כוח הטומאה has new things that's coming, right? In our generation is the cell phone, כל generation ועד כוח טומאה שיש בו, כן? אבל זה אנחנו, בזכות התורה הקדושה, זה מה שלמד יעקב. צריך ישיבות מיוחדות. We need special ישיבה, אמר השם זכינו פה ללמוד הלכה. אם ללמוד הלכה, את השם ונפיץ הלכה, אז זכינו בדור שלנו. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן.